It is 8 in a sunny morning, and I am up and ready to do some writing. Yeah, now it's 11 p.m. I look like crap, and I'm about to screw up my sleeping schedule. But hey, do as I say, not as I do, or something like that. Anyways, I think I've mentioned in a previous video that I am currently working on 3 separate writing projects, which kind of forced me to push my fan project aside. But here's the thing. I'd really hate to leave an unfinished fiction behind me. Yes, it is just a fan fiction, but it's the very first project I've ever shared online for other people to read, and I can't allow myself to just quit it. So I have decided to do something I've never really done before. I usually write between 700 to 2,000 words per day. But today, or tonight, I will go beyond that limit in order to further advance with the story and hopefully wrap up the first part of it. I made a video about this fiction where I said that I'd split the story into 2 parts, following the trend of the show I'm writing for, and I've decided that each part will have at the very least 100 chapters. Let us go on Web Novel, which is the primary platform for this fiction. Here we are on the dashboard. And before we get into the writing, I'd like to do a little recap about the story. As you can see from the title, it is a Teen Wolf fanfic, and I feel like people are going to think I'm obsessed with this show, but I swear, it's just because I've been busy and my writing process got dragged and prolonged. I chose to write this in 3rd POV, and each chapter focuses on a different character. What I'm planning to do is to write at least 4 chapters today, and then schedule them to be released throughout the upcoming week. Alright, let us click on the details in order to access the chapters list from here. You can see 3 sections: the drafts, the published chapters, and then trash, where deleted chapters go to die. We're gonna focus on the draft section. That's where we'll create our new chapters. And we click on create, and here we go. Now, since I already have the story outlined, I already know what my next step here is going to be. So I know what are the main events that I want to express in these chapters. That's not the hard part. However, there are, of course, secondary events and relationships between characters to develop. I'd like to split these chapters into 2 parts. I will lay out the basics or the skeleton of the chapters here before we move on to the writing. Okay, let's push this down so that I can start writing. The first part of this chapter will focus on Malia, who's going to be the main point of view for us. In the scene, she's driving a car alongside Peter, Braden, and Theo. So I'm close to the end of part 1 of this story, and we are at the point where the pack came up with a plan to take down their enemy, and Malia and the others are on their way to the Lieu of Rendezvous. But they encounter a hurdle on their way. That is why I picked the title. So that is the main event of the chapter. Now, I'd like to play a bit with the characters in the background. In the car, we also have Braden and Theo. And I really want to include this scene between them where they talk a bit about the past events. Back in season 5 of the show, Theo was a villain before getting his redemption arc. And there was an episode where Malia felt forced to follow Theo in order to stop her biological mother and save Deaton from her clutches. She calls for Braden's help because back then Braden was also chasing after Coraine, or the Desert Wolf, or Mia's biological mother. Brayden and Theo haven't really had the time to talk about those events ever since then. In fact, Brayden left the show at the end of season 5. So, I want them to have this moment to go over those events. As for the relationship between Malia and Peter, I did focus on it in previous chapters. In fact, I dedicated entire chapters to that. So I won't go over it today or again, or at least not in these chapters. So, future me here, I have recorded the footage and the previous audio 1 or 2 months ago, but things have been pretty hectic since then and I haven't had the time to edit the video. Now that I'm back, I can finally do it. You can enjoy the sight of me typing while you're listening to me ramble about my current projects. I've finally finished the first arc of my long fantasy story. I am in the process of reviewing and editing it. I haven't yet made a cover image for it. I should get to that very soon. The second project I'm working on is a pretty short story of about 10 or 12 chapters. This one is, well, it does have a fantasy element to it, but not like the other one. It's more of the paranormal, creepy, and dreary type. The third project, I am still in the outlining process and character profile writing. It is also fantasy, but I guess I'm targeting a different audience, mainly teenagers, 15 and above, young adults. As of now, it is set to have 30 chapters, but that may change based on the need of the story. Now, at the beginning of the video, I did say that I was working on 3 projects, but that part of the audio was recorded on the day I wrote the chapters, but as of now, I have actually picked up a 4th project. I'd like to try my hand at romance. It will have supernatural elements, but also a lot of action and mystery and adventure too. I think I have a lot to learn when it comes to romance. And this is my first attempt, so I do hope to get as much feedback as I can from it. And yes, I have recorded my writing process for each project, but the videos will be released after the 5 first chapters will be out at least. I think that makes more sense because I do give out a lot of details in those videos. So, you get me. Alright, coming back to this video, I wrote the chapters you are seeing on the screen on the 26th of June this year, and the memories of that are so foggy. All I remember about it is that I was really tired, I needed to sleep and I didn't. It's something I don't think I'll ever do again. Writing like that non-stop for 8 or 9 hours really was just an experience that I wanted to have, but it's definitely not a habit I can keep up with, nor should I think. In total, I wrote about 7,800 words on that day, so yeah. I think this is going to be it for this video. The uploads are going to be slow, because I started a new job, and it's eating my time up, so sorry for the delays in advance. I do hope you are having a great day or night wherever you are, and that you're staying very safe. If you did like this video, leave a like, comment, or subscribe. I would really appreciate it. It would really help. Until the next video, I will leave this one here. Bye-bye.